Hello, and welcome to our 19th D&D 3.5 Prestige class review. Today, we're going to be looking at the Stonedeath Assassin Prestige class from the Races of Stone sourcebook. I'll be giving my thoughts on the Prestige class's concept and execution, as well as its prerequisites and class features. I'll also give my thoughts on different builds that could incorporate it, as well as suggestions to improve the Prestige class. The Stonedeath Assassin lurks in underground caverns hunting for dwarves to continue the ancient grudge between the two races. They specialize in sneaking through dwarven defenses and picking off their mining expeditions and patrols. The Stonedeath Assassin requires a +3 base attack bonus and 8 ranks in hide and move silently. You also must be a goblinoid type creature, so a goblin, hobgoblin, a bugbear, or alternatively a varag if you have that monster manual. These prerequisites mean this prestige class is open to just about every goblinoid rogue character, as well as rangers and scouts. As a Stonedeath Assassin, you get a d6 hit die and 6+ intelligence modifier skill points per level. You have 3/4 base attack bonus and a good reflex save. Overall, this is pretty much a continuation of the rogue numbers-wise. You likely entered this class as one, so it won't be much of a change, but you will have to give up a couple of skills. At level 1, you gain the ability to meld into stone once per day per class level, with your effective caster level equal to your class level as well. This is meant to help you ambush dwarves, and it would work quite well. Whether dwarven stone cutting would have any interaction with this is unclear, but likely not, seeing as this isn't technically a trap. An excellent ability for sure. Trap finding is useful too, although you'll likely already have it. This feature is more geared toward rangers entering this prestige class, or other classes. At second level, you gain another 1d6 sneak attack and the Stone Skulk ability, which lets you use the hide skill as long as you are touching a stone surface, even if that wouldn't grant you cover or concealment normally. This is an oft-ignored rule in a world where many DMs assume a successful hide check means you are effectively invisible, but in a properly run game, this ability can be hugely effective. Being able to sneak across a wide-open cavern in the Underdark, for example, can be quite useful. At level 3, you gain the Corrupt Stone ability. This lets you do 3d6 damage to stone objects or earth subtype creatures, later improving to 4d6 or 5d6. You can use it once per day per class level. This can be helpful for getting around earth elementals' immunities to your sneak attack, and dwarves in many settings will employ these elementals as guardians. More often, it will be useful for damaging stonework, though the damage is a bit low. While this does ignore the object's hardness, or a creature's damage reduction, a 1-foot thick masonry wall still has 90 hit points. At max level in this prestige class, you can do 25d6 damage in total per day to stone. This still comes out to just shy of being able to destroy that stone wall, assuming average rolls. You could destroy stone doors, translating from wooden doors with the hit points, or of course, various stone furniture, and this ability will certainly find its uses there, but it simply does not scale with the hit points that many stone objects have listed. Also, the fact that it would not work on a stone golem is a bit strange, though it's likely just an oversight, and perhaps you could reason that the golem's magic immunity protects it. At level 4, you gain another 1d6 of sneak attack damage. Nothing really to discuss here, but it is nice to not miss out on those sneak attack dice, which is a major shortcoming of many rogue-focused prestige classes. Finally, at level 5, you gain the Stonedeath Strike feature, which works similarly to the Assassin's Death Attack feature. The main difference is that it petrifies the target instead of killing them, and dwarves and gnomes get a -4 penalty on the saving throw against the effect. There's also the additional stipulation that both you and the target must be in contact with stone. Death attack features are nice, if you can set them up. The 3-round setup time precludes you from using it more than once per combat encounter, but with an invisibility spell, you can get a chance at this with most opponents. However, many of them are likely to pass the save, and many will also be straight up immune to it as it is a death effect. But it still can come in handy, particularly if you are serving the prestige class's specified function, which is hunting dwarves and apparently gnomes as well. Still, as a capstone ability, this is not particularly strong, especially compared to something like the Assassin Prestige class, which gets this ability at level 1. Overall, I would give this prestige class 5 stars for flavor and 3 stars for execution. It is an interesting twist on the Assassin class that keeps your sneak attack progressing, as the Assassin class does, and has flavorful and useful abilities. While it is narrow in its focus, it is clearly intended for an NPC villain primarily, and in that role it would function quite well, with unusual powers that would be good at bamboozling many parties, trying to track it down. Playing one of these as a player would require the right sort of campaign, but it would function well for any goblinoid rogue or the like who plans to do a lot of dungeon delving, and the game is called Dungeons & Dragons after all. The meld with stone ability is not particularly useful for scouting as it keeps you stationary, but the stone skulk ability certainly is, even if it involves an oft-ignored rule. Corrupt stone can also have a variety of dungeon crawling uses, dealing with doors or thin walls, though again the damage is too low to do anything too impressive. For only 5 levels of investment, this class gives you some interesting abilities, though mostly stealth and utility related, aside from the Stonedeath Strike, which is potentially powerful, but useless against a large class of foes who are immune to sneak attacks. You could go either way on whether this is worth the diversion from Rogue or Ranger, but it certainly provides some interesting alternatives, and for the right character, it's definitely worth taking. So, that's about it for this Prestige class review. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, etc. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.